morning, NFC East. Happy Friday, everybody. We are 9 days away. 9 days away from Super Bowl 57.
That's right.
And as we get closer to Super Bowl 57, DeShields, my mind is so... I'm stupider today. I'm just going to say that. I am stupider today because of the stuff I heard about this football team yesterday. And it's not even from a bitter 49ers fan or a bitter Giants fan.
Oh, they're fun. The bitter fans are fun.
Oh, they're fun, DeShields. But when you're hearing actual players and actual owners, people who have money, people who are in positions of power say silly stuff, I have to laugh. I really do. What Julian Love said about Nick Sirianni yesterday, I just have two words for you. Shut up. You have no say, absolutely no say in what goes on in the Eagles locker room. But yet, you decided, in your infinite wisdom, the Philadelphia Eagles, the first team to sweep the New York Giants 3 times in the season, to actually say Nick Sirianni is getting the free ride. You got a free ride, all right. You got a free ride to Good Morning Football where you were baited by the Good Morning Football crew into saying something stupid.
Yo, Jeff, I'm being honest with you, man. Like, when I saw Julian Love on Good Morning Football, and shout out to the Good Morning Football crew. They do a pretty good job over there. Kyle Brandt, Peter Schrager, McCourty, the new lovely lady. I forgot her name.
Jamie Erdahl.
Jamie Erdahl.
Yeah, she works for CBS. She's really cool.
Awesome. I'm more of a Kay Adams, but shout out to Jamie Erdahl. She's doing a great job over there. But nonetheless, I digress. Julian Love. Where's the love, Julian? Where is the love? I know you did not wake up that morning with hate on your heart. Your name is Julian Love. Look, let's be totally honest about this, Jeff. You cannot be someone who does all the talking after the fact. Where was all that energy on the field, player? Where was all that fire and desire when you was on the field when Devontae Smith mossed you?
He was too busy missing tackles.
We have to be honest with ourselves, man. I spoke about this. Most people who have the most to say are the people who are sitting at home, right? And like you said, people who have money, positions of power and influence, people that can go on a vacation at a moment's notice. Why are you worrying about what the big dogs are doing? You see, something that I always say, people that are familiar with me, familiar with all the work I do, there are two metaphors or two analogies that I like to use, right? One, we don't breathe the same air. We do not breathe the same air. We're not even in the same oxygen tank, right? We're just not in the same class. And another thing is, we all got invited to the club being the playoffs. We all got invited, right? Giants got invited. Cowboys got invited. Jerry got invited. You know what I mean? They all got invited. Vikings, so on and so forth. We all got invited to the club, Jeff. But everybody can't go to VIP. Everybody can't go to the after party. Everybody can't go, Jeff. And the problem is some people, they're not satisfied with just being let into the club. You're lucky to be in the club. You're lucky we found you in line and brought you with us. You're lucky. You have to understand your place in this thing, man. Julian Love, you are a young, promising player. The New York Giants are a young, promising team with a promising head coach. The New York Giants only can go up from here. Let's be totally honest. They can only go up from here. They've been down so damn long. They can only go up from here. So, Julian, when you're a player such as yourself, a 4th-round pick, drafted in 2019, who's not as accomplished as you would like to be, no Pro Bowls, no All-Pros, you have to curb your enthusiasm. You have to curb your tongue. You have to relax and understand that when the grown men are talking, just be quiet and listen because you might learn something.
Love it. Absolutely love it, Tony DeShields. Beautiful way to describe it. I'm going to go one step further here with this guy. I actually kind of bypassed what he said the first time. Not terribly. I kind of wanted to rip the Giants, but he didn't say anything wrong the first time. And then they showed him the video of Nick Sirianni. And I thought he was just going to stop it after, I didn't like it. Okay, yeah, I get it.
Fair enough.
You're playing on the team? Yeah, I wouldn't like. But then you go on the free ride comments, and then you double down on Twitter saying how you got an Eagles fans mentioned and like it was true. I'm like, you're a moron, dude. Just shut up.
Bitter.
Your team almost got outscored by 100 points in 3 games against the Eagles. You lost 38-7 in a playoff game you weren't even competitive in. Oh, but I had to hear all week about, again, I'm telling you, Tone, people are getting stupider by the day. The red-hot 3-5-1 Giants were going to come in there and beat the Philadelphia Eagles. As my one friend who used to work for the Eagles, Honest NFL, said, people were actually duped into believing Daniel Jones was going to come in there and beat them. And like actual legit smart football people. I'm telling you, people are on social media more. They want attention over every stupid thing they say. I got some news for you. And this is for new YouTube commenters.
Jeff chose violence.
This is for people who post on Facebook. This is for people that tweet. You don't have to tweet everything you say. Everything you think. You don't have to tweet it.
Lord knows I don't.
I don't either. People are stupid. And it's stupid stuff they're tweeting. It's really stupid stuff. I'm like, you would never say this in real life. People, we're in the multiverse saga in the MCU right now. People live in that multiverse. I'm telling you, man, it's like Kang the Conqueror got in their heads or something. This is insane. I can't believe when people respond in my mentions yesterday, Tone. Perfect example. The 7 Eagles playing in the Super Bowl. I tweeted this. There are 7 Eagles playing in the Super Bowl. Named each of them. They will be the first set of Eagles ever to play in 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I saw that.
The first comment I get, Derek Barnett's on the team. I know Derek Barnett's on the team. I cover the team. Derek Barnett ain't playing in the Super Bowl.
Operative word playing. Yeah. Operative word playing.
And then I said, it's not hard to read a tweet. And you know what he said? Well, I read the tweet. No, you didn't. So you were terrible in school. That's what it's telling me, Tone DeShields. I'm telling you, all the people that got D's and F's in school have a platform now, and it drives me insane.
That is the part of social media that you have to somehow navigate with grace and optimism, because you're going to come across a lot of people on the platform who somehow, some way, they have the same credentials as you, right? Somehow, some way, they've seen the things you've seen, done the things you've done. Somehow, some way, they know your life. Somehow, some way, they know more than you about a certain topic that you've spent most of your natural born life covering. There are some people who are backseat drivers, Monday morning quarterbacks, people who love to have all the opinions after the fact, people who love to just claim that they're just the virtuoso, the Costa Nostra. They just know every damn thing. And guess what? That's okay, because I respect my fellow man's opinion and my fellow woman's opinion. I respect everyone's opinion, right? And I'll say this as well. There's a difference between being honest and just being flat out wrong. Like, you can be honest, right? But that don't make you right. Honesty doesn't make you right. Honesty just means that, maybe you're being true to yourself, but maybe you're not. Maybe you're just pandering to something. Maybe you're just trying to push a button, right? Like, I'll be honest with you, right? You chose violence this morning. I think I may continue to choose violence as well. I think this segment is just going to be the ripping segment. It seems that way. There's someone in media that I respected for a while, and then slowly but surely my respect for them started to dwindle. Not as a person, not as a man, not as a human, not as a father, because I don't know that person in that capacity. I know this person is strictly in the capacity of sports talk, and I will only talk about their sports talk alter ego. I will not talk about them as a person, as a man. I do not know you. But someone by the name of Nick Wright, man, he was someone that I firmly respected in this thing, and I still relatively do. He's done a lot to get where he is. He has a really good show, in my opinion. First things first, but I don't think it's good. But I don't think it's good because of him anymore. I think it's good because of Broussard.
Yeah, Chris Broussard's on that show now, and
also my man is it Broods? The moderator, the main host. Oh man, I hate that.
Yeah, who?
I hate that.
Is it Joy Taylor? Is she? Name. Oh no, she's on.
She's on Speak. But the bottom line is, Nick Wright, man. He takes every chance he gets. And I don't think he learned his lesson from 2018. Every chance he gets, he takes a shot at Jalen Hurts and tries to pull the magic carpet ride from under him, right? He's another one basically saying that, Jalen's just along for the ride. Jalen was never an MVP candidate. Why do we keep changing the rules for an MVP candidate? First of all, there's no rules in the first place. We change it at a moment's notice. We curb the MVP award to whoever we like for the most part. It's a popularity contest. But nonetheless, you still have to perform. But he just has these moments of sheer, I don't know if he's nervous. I don't know if he really is concerned about his Chiefs. He's a diehard Chiefs fan, by the way. And you should have saw him when Patrick Mahomes was on the show. He was creaming. But nonetheless, again, there's a difference between being honest and just being flat out wrong, right? Honesty doesn't make you right. And we can't continue to equate honesty with being right. And I think that's one of my biggest problems right now with a lot of people in media. They think just because they're being honest, they're right. And that's not how that works, okay? Jalen Hurts, anyone can see, has improved greatly, mightily as a passer. Anyone can see Jalen Hurts is the pulse, the heartbeat, the engine of this offense. Anyone can see that as Jalen Hurts goes, this offense goes. You see, people get so wrapped up in the tangibles, the things you can measure, the things you can quantify. People get so caught up in those things, right? The passing yards, the passing TDs. People get so caught up in all the sexy stuff, but no one wants to talk about the intangibles, the things that you can't quantify, the things that you can't scout, right? The things that most scouts get wrong. Case in point, Tom Brady. They looked at him and said, 6th-round draft pick. What does this guy have to bring? He doesn't have. His hands are probably small, no arm talent, whatever it is. But his sheer will to win, his sheer desire to win, his eagerness, his competitive nature couldn't be quantified, couldn't be measured. And that's how he got this far in his career. And now he's retired after 20-plus years in the NFL. You don't get that far just off talent alone. Look at Aaron Rodgers, one Super Bowl appearance, one Super Bowl win. Not multiple appearances and one win, just one appearance, one win. He can't even get there anymore. Russell Wilson, talented, can't even get there anymore. At least he had 2 appearances, though.
And he's been close.
Dan Marino, one of the most talented quarterbacks that played this game. Got there once, thought he'd be back, never got there again.
And he faced a guy who for a long time, we considered the GOAT. And by the way, this is where my Vitherol's coming this morning. Dan Orlovsky's another one. I love Dan Orlovsky.
I love Dan too, actually.
Yeah, he ranked his top 5 quarterbacks of all time. I didn't have a problem with the list. But then there's one glaring omission. The guy that everybody compares everybody to, he just decided, hey, you know what? He's not that good. Joe Montana. The guy who's 4-0 in Super Bowls, the guy who's thrown 13 touchdown passes in Super Bowls, the guy who's won 2 MVPs, led the league in completion percentage 5 times. That Joe Montana. Yeah, all right, he was a good. When Tom Brady was starting to win Super Bowls, we were comparing Tom Brady to Joe Montana. We sure as hell were comparing him to Dan Marino.
And I understand your perspective on that. Granted, when people give their top 5, I always try to, preface it in my mind with, this is probably quarterbacks they like, maybe their style, maybe quarterbacks they looked up to, right? It's always personal bias involved with that, right? Sure, their accomplishments will be attached to that. But, lists like that, I always look at that as someone's personal top 5 quarterbacks. I don't really look at that as like, oh, these are the top 5 quarterbacks to ever play, period, no discussion. I think that's something like I kind of let people live with their personal top 5s, right? But again, being honest doesn't make you right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your personal top 5, and it's all subjective, really. But there are things that we can measure. There are things we can't. We can measure accolades, and we can just go by who's the most decorated quarterbacks in the NFL and just say they're the best 5 quarterbacks that ever played this game. We can go by that, right? And then you can go by quarterbacks who maybe aren't the most decorated, maybe won the big thing once or twice. Maybe never led the league in passing, maybe never led the league in touchdown passes, but what they brought to the table, the way their approach to the game, right? Case in point, Jalen Hurts, he's an all-pro, Pro Bowler, right? He's beginning to add things onto the resume. He's an MVP finalist. Most likely won't win it. He's a finalist for the Offensive Player of the Year. They'll probably give that to Justin Jefferson or Tyreek Hill because they normally give that to the skill position guys.
I voted for Jalen, by the way, for that one.
Awesome. That's dope. So, again, you have guys who like to talk about Jalen Hurts as if the game is only won from the neck down. The game is won from the neck up more than anything. And that's what Jalen Hurts has been doing, right? He's been winning the game from the neck up. And people don't want to talk about that because it's not sexy. They can't quantify it. They can't put it on the graphic, right? And then you got a guy like Jerry Jones. And I know we're going to talk about this really quickly. Our guy Andrew DeShields just got here. And we're going to take this thing to the 7:20 mark. So we got about 2 minutes, Andrew. I need you to hold on tight because we're going to take you for a ride, my man. So Jerry Jones, and I know you have a lot more insight on this, man. What is Jerry Jones talking about, Jeff?
He basically said the Cowboys are more built for long-term success than the Eagles, to make it short and sweet. Okay, Jerry, you know there's a whole generation of fans in the NFL that don't even remember the last time the Cowboys were in a Super Bowl or were too young to remember it.
The Cowboys are built for long-term success. They've been building this Super Bowl team for 28 years.
They've been building it. They've been building it for their next Super Bowl championship since they won their last Super Bowl championship.
They've been kindling that fire for 28 years.
You know what? As Jerry Jones gets older, he gets more senile and he gets more stupid. I mean, that is a guy who has to say, well, let's talk about the Cowboys this week. And ESPN and a lot of networks are guilty of this. Who cares what the Cowboys are doing right now? Let's be honest with ourselves. Do you really care what Jerry Jones says at the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, the Senior Bowl where all the losers go? I mean, you're preparing for the draft. You're preparing for next season. I'm sure there are Eagle scouts at the Senior Bowl too, but there are a lot more of them scouting the Chiefs. I'd rather be in the Eagles and Chiefs position. But Jerry Jones can't admit that the Cowboys are little brother to the Eagles now. He cannot admit that.
This is our century, Jerry. This is our century. You had the 90s. You enjoyed it. You know what I mean? You even had the 80s for a bit. You had it. You
and I were doing the Macarena last time the Cowboys were relevant.
Man, when the Cowboys were relevant, I was still drinking Similac. Like, come on, man. Born in 94. Like, when the last one they won was, what, 95, 96?
Yeah, so you have been way too young to learn the Macarena then.
Come on, man. I was way too young to even know the Cowboys were even a thing. You know, America's team.
So they're re-releasing Titanic in theaters this month. I think they should have re-released Super Bowl 30 too, but before that.
Oh my goodness!
Just to get Cowboys fans all around that. Man, Jerry Jones is so. I had a Cowboys fan actually say this to me on Twitter yesterday, and again, I don't read all my mentions, but this is what I had to respond to. He basically said like the Cowboys have 5 Super Bowls and the Eagles have like 1, and not counting the championships. I happened to see he had a blue check mark and 84 followers. I said, dude, you pay for your verification.
I'll be honest. I don't want to judge anybody, but I kind of judge you if you pay for your blue check mark. I'll be honest. I judge you a little bit. I judge you. But look, Jeff, 7:20. We're going to bring up our guy Andrew DeShields. But before we do that, I want to give a shout out to one of our loyal subscribers, Davey Boy. It's his birthday today. So
happy birthday, Davey.
Happy birthday, Davey Boy, man. You're here every morning with us rocking out, and we appreciate your love, support. We appreciate you smashing that like button. We appreciate you even hitting the dislike button when days you're not feeling us. But as long as you continue to come back for a good time, we'll always keep you entertained for a long time.
Every single day. I love it, man. I love our loyalists.
Definitely. So you guys have been locked in, and we'll always be locked in on Good Morning NFC East with Jeff Kerr. I'm your guy, Tone DeShields II. Next up is Andrew DeShields from Inside the Birds, going to give us his insight. Can't wait to hear what he has to say about these Super Bowl bound birds. You guys do not